Thank you, Scott, for an excellent speech. The Battle Within. I thought it was a quality speech. I really did. First, let me just share with you some of the objectives of the speech. A 5 to 7 minute talk relating a personal experience, the structure of the talk, and it should have some readily apparent organization. For the most part, I think it had some readily apparent organization, so that was good. I thought it was a quality speech, especially for newcomers and guests, because he related to you some of the path and process that we go through in preparing a speech, which I thought is very interesting. One of the objectives of the speech is to use vivid descriptions of any speech. You want to use vivid imagery, and I thought he did that extremely well, especially when he talked about walking in the door and the hall of victory and loose clothing to let you work out the sweat. That was all good. If there was any area I would say would be good to take that speech to the next level, it would be more preparation. But of course you do that, and I actually think that your somewhat loose and lack of preparation actually supported the speech topic and the humor of it, so I thought that was excellent. But all in all, I would be surprised if your avocation wasn't speaking, because you do an excellent job, and I think that that really comes from, one, your focus on the audience, and that, you know, you have energy, you've got a smile, you've got wonderful audience engagement. You know, so many speakers are focused on their content and delivering what they're delivering instead of the people receiving the message. But I think the biggest thing I really enjoyed about that speech is that you're in the moment and your presence. It's very captivating, and that's powerful for any speaker. If that green light were on, I'd wrap this up right now. So I was hoping he was distracted with the server back there, as she's busy in her avocation. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin. Very good. All right, our second evaluator is Dan, and he will be evaluating Quinn. There you go. Take it away.
Okay, Quinn, the road to victory. I have to say, when you started your speech today, you used the word, if you step on our toes. It kind of made me feel like it was going to be an uncomfortable speech in the beginning. But then later, you brought up a story about Donald Trump and how he stepped on a lot of toes getting there, but he polished a lot of shoes as well. So it kind of brought it full circle to me. And opening up with I might step on your toes, I connected to that. So then it was more of a positive experience when you got to that point in your speech. I also like the way that you use the fact that you were successful if the people you're working with are successful, that you measure your own success through the success of others, which to me really related to your vision and your mission in your speech. Your mission was to convey to the audience to believe in themselves. That was what I got from the mission of your speech, which I believe that you did by using different anecdotes and pointing out other people that were successful. One thing that I would suggest maybe a change is that it was in positive. You talked about the 21 laws of success, and we picked out 3 points of those. I would have maybe liked to see that in the beginning of your speech, opposed to towards the end, and build a little more off of that. However, you did still get your mission across. Something else that I really like, at one point in your speech when you were talking, I almost felt like I was in church and we were in Southern Baptist Church. You were giving your sermon, which was great, because to me that is another portion of getting your mission across and your vision, your statement, is because when you speak, you speak as if you really believe in what you're saying, and then you have a lot of conviction in it, and believe in yourself, like you said. And so that was something very positive about your speech as well. I feel that you are very strong and persuasive, and you portray that in your voice and your tone when you speak to others. That's something that always gets my attention when I watch you speak. Again, sometimes I feel like I'm back in church. And did you say back? No. Back. Not that I ever left. So overall, I feel that your mission was conveyed, and you had conviction when you were getting your mission across, and I really enjoyed the road to victory. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Dan. Third evaluator, Paul, evaluating Diane Eisner.
Thank you.
When you started your speech, I immediately went back to my days that we did road rallies and scavenger hunts, and you totally had me enrolled. Some of the objectives that I want to talk about, first of all, the use of body language. I mean, your body language was outstanding. You did have a model of your demonstration and actually bringing the audience into your participation. I was following the route along the way and totally had me involved in that. It was delivered without any notes. The audience obviously was interested because I saw the heads following the people as they were going along the route. The participation of the audience was good. The choice of your demonstration message was apropos to the club. I know many people use the taping. You know, we tape the word of the day on the podium. We tape up all of the signs and what have you. So very, very appropriate. The term "Kamana Wanalea," I've heard that before, and I always get hooked into that term. I was a little unclear about the symbols, and I think a little bit more description of the symbols would have been helpful. The most effective part of the demonstration was the involvement. Everybody was sucked into the involvement, and again, I was following the group as they were going around, and not being a drinker, but I still wanted to find the beer, so it was very, very good. So outstanding job. So thank you very much.
There you go. Thank you. All right, agenda. Let's see. I need to do something really quick. Sorry. Forgive me.
Thank you. That's my
There you
fault.
go.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's go over timer report, please, for the evaluators.
Only Dan qualified.
Everyone qualified?
Only Dan
Oh,
qualified.
only Dan qualified?
Yes.
Really? Okay. So vote for your best evaluator. Dan.
All right.
Dan's the man, huh? There you go. So, just hold on to your votes at this point. Let me go ahead and do the,
Who's vote counting? Pass the votes to.
okay, yes, because we're voted for best speaker as well. And table topics, evaluators, so pass your votes to Diane. And while you're doing that, I'm going to talk about the meeting, the general evaluation of the meeting. Where do I begin? First of all, the Toastmaster, no show and no agenda. It's very, very difficult to run a ship without a captain, okay? And luckily Cliff, our wonderful secretary, has the blank agendas that we could go by. Yay. But it's, I mean, it just gives me, it doesn't work that way. And we need to improve big time when it comes to Toastmaster. If you are Toastmaster, you have to show up. And if you're not, you better as heck have somebody replace you way before the meeting, okay? We didn't do the pledge and invocation until after the guests were introduced, so again, it was Scott's first meeting being president, and so it was just a little off there. But we got it done. Tending to the guests, we were very excited that the guests are here. It's always exciting to see guests. It gives us new energy, and we applaud you for being here. Thank you. Just know that it was just a little bit different, so we invite you to come back and see. Debbie was our Toastmaster, she filled in. Diane, the grammarian, the vote counter. Dan, you printed the word of the day. Dan, thank you for doing this. Okay, excellent job to step up like that. Scott was doing the Toastmaster duties and Debbie corrected. Randy had to leave an emergency, so Kevin, thank you for stepping up and being the evaluator. And it was cute because Eric, my guest, he said, wow, as Kim was coming, he's a guest and he's doing all that right now? And I said, no, he's a governor.
He is a guest.
And it was great because Eric got to see how Toastmasters truly provides for you. And just a great speaker. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I also didn't hear the bell, the awe counter. Cliff, your hand was over the bell.
It was there, but it didn't.
She loves
that bell.
Coordination wasn't there.
Yeah, so and I just kept Wait, okay. Now, let me get to the evaluators before my time runs out. Kevin, again, excellent job, introduction. Eric was so impressed that he was a guest, I told you that, and that, okay, so just a great job for evaluating. And again, all evaluators did the sandwich technique, meaning they gave what was good about the speech, an improvement they could make, and then again, excellent job with the speech. So that's the sandwich technique. Dan, you used the book, you went through, you talked about the objectives of the speech. That was excellent. And then you read Quinn's bio, but you spoke a little bit fast. So just keep that in mind. And then Paul, excellent intro. It was interesting to talk about the objectives. And then you read his bio on your iPhone, which I'm not seeking for. Anyway, all in all, it was, I appreciate all the interaction and replacing and of duties and all of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Julie, appreciate that.
Thanks.
Now is the time of the meeting where we get our reports.